Like,
Taylor, that's where you're wrong. Eventually, this is where stars come from.
Eventually, this will congeal and we'll have a second moon, a glowing moon.
It was Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Better tides. Yeah.
When if you keep so yeah, I got no problem with any of this. I don't know. Maybe I'd feel differently using my back.
This is fun.
Hey, you know what? To each their own. Is my.
I just think it's being blown out of proportion. It's like, who cares? Like,
I don't think so.
I feel like one of these happens every weekend. We get like, remember when that pipeline got blown up and we were trying to figure out who done it?
Yeah, the Norfolk.
Yeah. We found out who done it, right?
I mean,
they told us last week, right about the time that last week, right about the time the UFOs and Ohio exploded. They told us that we did it.
Of course,
I remember reading that, and I didn't see where it was from.
Like we absolutely did. Like from the
you
beginning,
say that with no evidence.
No, but I mean, like
the
you can just look at it.
that we had placed the chart.
You can just look at it, make your own guesses. Here's a comedy
I read it on the
internet.
You can read it, like, and also there's like you can look at that situation with the Nord Stream. It made zero sense from the start that Russia would use their pipeline they just invested tens of billions of dollars into, a key infrastructure that happens to be their bargaining chip with Western Europe, because Western Europe was relying on Russian gas, to bomb your own infrastructure you just finished, which removes your ability to hold that over the head of a current wartime foe, is retarded. Like, no nation would do that. Who's the chief beneficiary of that? Well, if Russia did do it, what they did was push Western Europe into the dependent arms of the U.S. to get oil from tankers over through us, or to buy through other people.
So the
through
theory
India.
is Russia's trying to sell energy, so why would they hurt their ability to sell energy?
Correct. Yeah, and
why
it gives
did
them
Russia
a
just cut their production by 5% then?
Well, 5% is definitely not destroying tens of billions of dollars in infrastructure.
Why did Russia?
Well, Russia cut their production because the U.S., after the Nord Stream, came in and is now providing a higher percentage of energy to Europe.
I just want to hear any good reason why they would blow up their own pipeline.
They wouldn't. It doesn't make sense, dude.
The theory is that they're trying to break the will of Europe by increasing the price of their energy.
So instead of turning off the faucet, they destroy their entire bar. It's just ridiculous. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Well, they also turned off the faucet this week.
Wait, so they're willing to turn off the faucet, which reinforces that they would have done it initially instead of destroying their infrastructure.
Well,
like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. See, this is the problem. Like, if you ever take a nuanced position that's not like the obvious one, it's incredibly hard to defend. Often because you kind of have to twist yourself in loops to defend it, which is where I am right now. Like, I just
can't think of a good reason. Like, a false flag would make sense. But remember what happened when it happened? Russia went, damn it, why? That's what they did. They didn't like blow up one of our pipelines. But the
we just did a little wartime attack in international waters, little U.S. stuff.
I mean, I thought there was a matter of record that we placed the charges and that Norwegians detonated the charges because they weren't in the EU or whatever. Not the EU, the whatever the fuck.
The European Union.
Yeah. Was I reading the funny papers?
Or NATO.
Was that not like an official release, like on the record?
I read something about it, but I didn't see that it pointed to America. And I'm open to the idea that I'm wrong.
Yeah. What I read was that America placed the charges. Like, I'm picturing Lady Liberty herself wading through those frigid waters, placing them, and then a neutral third party in Norway or whatever the fuck detonated them via a plane that was flying over.
Or dolphins. Wartime dolphins.
Yeah. Oh, God, if they used those Navy dolphin seamen.
Yeah. You'd have to salute them because, of course, they die from the poison of the ecological disaster.
How do you feel about like
Nord Stream blowing up?
Police dogs being treated as officers?
I'm fine with it if they wear a hat.
They will. I've seen them in goggles.
And I'm in.
And a helmet. You know, that's pretty cute to me. Here's my problem though. Whenever a cop like forgets and cooks one in his car, they don't go, "You cooked, Officer McGravy." They don't. "You're under arrest, you murderer." They go, "Damn, that was a $18,000 dog." That's what they get. That's what they do. But if you fucking throw a right cross at Cujo because he's eating your ankle, you have assaulted a police officer. You can't have it both ways, Barney.
Having their cake and eating it.
Routinely, like, this is a cop, but he's not a cop, but he's a cop. You know, like, Oh, and but like he's not
He's a cop,
expected
he's a
to
cop, he's a cop.
show any restraint. He can go and bite your arm, bite your fucking face off. All the cops think it's fantastic, but they're not really responsible for what the dog does because it's a dog. It's an animal. It doesn't know what it's doing. But it's a police officer. If you dare like push the dog off of you, now you're resisting a mauling or something.
Yeah.
That's against the rules.
But if they're at your house and they shoot your dog because it barked at them too wrong, it is no longer an officer, a civilian, a person. It's a thing.
That's a civilian dog. Yeah.
Yeah, the government always gets to have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah. Don't care for them. I don't care for those government guys. 2 thumbs down. You know.
I'm a big fan. I've always supported them. I always will. All of them.
That's why we're such good friends. Opposite attract.
Our overlords are looking out for our best interest, Taylor. So you better just bend the knee and get it over with.
And let Officer Scruff fucking bend me over, and you're getting humped by a police dog, and you try and push him off, and it's like, stop resisting! Stop resisting!
It's like Christmas Vacation. Best just let him finish up.
Officer Brutus gets horny this time of day. You got to leave his nuts on, or he can't run, and he doesn't want to kill.
I think they do leave their. It's coming to the time where it's time to get my dog fixed. I think. I'm gonna see what the vet thinks.
No, because I told you my thoughts on circumcision. Don't circumcise your dog.
I want my dog circumcised. God damn it! He's a Jewish dog, and he is going to observe. Look, he's going to observe the mitzvah, and that's all there is to it. I will not have a.
Which dog are we talking about?
Toby. A puppy. He's 6 months old.
The one with the metal sticking out his leg. Is he already neutered?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's unclipped, not holy. See, like, when you take your dog in to get him fixed, if you do, inquire about a circumcision.
They'll put your name on. No, they'll put your name on a list. I can't do that. I'm on enough of those. I can't. But I think it determines how aggressive and how big they get. How soon you get them neutered.
Too late. Your dog's already huge. Or getting big.
He is a big old boy, but he's goofy as fuck. Like, he's not too aggressive. I don't know. He sees the neighbor dogs and loses his shit though, and tries to get them.
In a play way.
Don't you wait till they're full grown to neuter them? Am I crazy?
I think that's kind of like. I think if you want them to be more docile and smaller, you can do it earlier because I think they charge by the pound.
Huh?
I didn't know that.
We got our dog. So this dog.
You can keep the testicles. We always do.
There was something called Spar.
Waste not one. Right?
I forget. There were people in RVs that had like a mobile dog neutering hospital who neuter your dog cheap. And I thought, like, I don't know about this situation, right? Like a fucking mobile hospital. I was a little sketch about the whole thing. Dude, they were great. These guys just neuter like 15 animals a day, all day, every day. They're the neutering clan. This is like a simple tax return to an accountant. Mm-hmm. And this dog came in. He had one nut. The other nut never descended. It was somewhere lost in his belly. And they told me, maybe they're selling, but afterwards they're like, it's a good thing you came to us because, like this surgery, it's not vanilla. It's a little bit rocky road. But since we do this all day, every day, like we're the people for it.
Yeah, I had one of those. I had one of those undistended. Yeah, with the testicle that does go all the way down. They went in when I was like 2, like popped that bitch out.
Really?
Yeah, put it
I
back
don't think
in.
We've ever heard this story before. I can't tell if I'm being gullible.
I didn't know they could do that at 2.
Definitely told it before. 2.
They noticed that 2. They're like changing your diaper and they're like, Kyle's not.
I think it was like. I think it was pretty obvious that but it
Mom's
was like. But I've got a scar. Like on my belly, like above where the pubic hair is on the right side, there's like this tiny little hairline scar, and I think in there is where my ball was, and I had to like go in and like pop it out and then like stick it back in my scrot or like however that works.
Dude, that's a cool place for a scar. I bet when girls give you head, they think like this guy is hard.
I told him it was a knife fight. Yeah,
I hope he's hard.
I told him it was a knife fight. Yeah,
I got in a knife fight and I barely managed to molest
That's
him.
what I say about all my scars. Anytime if they ask about any of my scars, I always say knife fight. That's the correct answer, guys. Anytime a chick asks you about a scar, and if they want to hear more. I don't feel comfortable talking about it. It's personal.
You should have seen the other guy. He's still in therapy.
I hear you. I'm more of a shark attack guy. That's my
shark
story.
attack.
I remember there was this
shark
kid.
attack.
Dude, so many.
What scars are you pawning off as shark attacks?
I got 2 on my leg. They look kind of shark attacky. Like, that's an ACL surgery. No, shark attack.
No, you see that jagged there? It's not because the surgeon messed up. It's because it was a nurse shark who nipped at me. There was this kid on my hockey team when I was like 12 or so, and I guess something happened when he was born that like he something got stuck, or like they pulled him too hard, and like they really fucked up like this area. I'm pointing to like my right shoulder in kind of a swoop. And you can imagine like if a shark were to bite you here, it would have that kind of swoop down shape of a scar. And I guess he was embarrassed of that because like he had kind of a fucked up, ridge here, like a lot of scar tissue. And he just told everyone that it was a shark bite. And everyone forever, like the entire time we were a team, like believed that he was attacked by a shark and survived because it looked so much like a shark bite.
Is that the coolest scar to have? Like if a noticeable bite mark, if you had like a noticeable like bite mark like that, like where teeth went in, and like not that whole thing where like, oh yeah, it took his calf. That's actually his bicep down there. Like not that, but like
it would depend on the creature. Like if it was like a vicious dog or a shark bite. If it was like a human woman's teeth, then maybe not.
Not that.
Yeah,
oh, that's horrific. To me, that screams like, did you get tested after? Are you still getting tested? Because like every 6 months you got to go back after. It's like you might as well have been exposed to HIV as like a fucking EMS worker or some shit. If another human bites you in the wild, I would so much rather get bitten by an animal than a person.
I've heard that. Is that really
most animals aren't full of diseases that
Cats
go into us. They don't have like tons of human diseases. They've got bacteria and you get a terrible infection, right? You could even get rabies. The thing is, we've got great treatments for all of that stuff. You can get shit from humans though that there are no cures for. Now you got Hep C.